Although many might be well aware of the Bermuda Triangle and the numerous strange disappearances surrounding the location, many are not yet aware of the Devil's Sea located near Japan and often described as the Pacific Bermuda Triangle. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be going over 5 different mysteries surrounding the Devil's Sea and what they could mean for the region. The Yokohama Danger Zone. Although many claim that the Devil's Sea and its dangers go back centuries, it appears that the majority of cases have been fairly recent all throughout the area. What many are not aware of is that before the area was popularly given the name the Devil's Sea, government officials were already well aware of the strange danger of the location. In fact, the Yokohama Coast Guard of the region outlined the area as a danger zone that was to be avoided at all costs, though never elaborated as to why the area was given that classification. Several years later, this danger zone would end up resting right in the middle of the Devil's Sea Triangle that sees itself at the center of the strange disappearances. Interestingly enough, despite the area having been given the danger zone title, the government attempted to deny that the Devil's Sea had ever been a dangerous area after the myths and rumours of the Devil's Sea began causing a strain on the economic shipping conditions and port docking. Other books written by skeptic authors, such as that from Larry Kusch, of whom published the book The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved, and appears to be at the centre of conspiracies involving the Japanese government paying him to write the book debunking the Devil's Sea, coincidentally forgetting to ever mention the nature of the Yokohama danger zone and instead trying to spin the story of the region in a way that makes it sound that it was never at the centre of government danger reports. Despite these books that claim to debunk the danger area, overwhelming evidence shows there is a much higher chance of a ship disappearing or sinking than anywhere else in the world, including that of the Bermuda Triangle. The disappearance of 9 ships. The main cause of the legends of the Devil's Sea was that of the unexplained disappearance of 9 ships in weather that was deemed as completely calm and perfect by researchers studying the area. Between 1950 and 1954, 9 modern ships of that era went missing in what was described as perfect weather, of which first sparked the anomalous properties of the Devil's Sea. This caused Charles Berlitz, an American paranormal writer, to write about these unexplainable string of disappearances in his book The Bermuda Triangle, back in 1974, that saw the region being dubbed with the name of the Devil's Sea. In fear of what the damaging reputation of this book could do to the shipping economy of Japan, Japanese authorities quickly devised a plan as to what could be done to calm the minds of those fearful of the region. This led to a wide variety of complete denials from the Japanese government on the matter, completely rejecting that the Yokohama danger zone ever existed and even giving erroneous reports to the 1975 author Larry Kusch to help promote the creation of skeptic writings to refute the works of Charles Berlitz. Some of these reports included information claiming the weather was terrible on the night of each ship's disappearance, that the majority of the ships were equipped with damaged or inferior radio equipment, and that the Yokohama Coast Guard had never declared any area as a dangerous or unsafe zone anywhere near the region of the Devil's Sea. Fortunately enough, the evidence was stacked against the Japanese government that caused them to rethink this strategy and attempt new ways to solve the issue of the Devil's Sea and to cover up any additional fears of the region. This ultimately led to the Japanese government's decision to send research vessels out into the region to attempt to explain the disappearance of these ships and to help provide a reasonable explanation that would ultimately see the area deemed as both safe and passable by ships of all kinds. Despite this move, to this day, the cause of the majority of the 9 ships and their disappearance is still completely unknown, and no new evidence from 1975 has ever helped to explain where the ships could be and what happened to them. The sinking of the Kyo Maru No. 5. In an effort made by the Japanese government to dispel the myths of the region that, at this point in time, was more than affecting the economy of the nearby ports and harbours, a research vessel by the name of the Kyo Maru No. 5 was sent out to understand the underlying cause of the disappearance of the many different ships that had ventured in the area. The Japanese government was more than confident that the ship would return with the discovery of the sunken ships in the region, or new insight as to what could potentially be causing the sinking of the ships. Additionally, by sending out a state-of-the-art research vessel in the region without worrying about the supposed dangers of the Devil's Sea, the Japanese government believed this would more than overwhelmingly convince ships that the area was safe and capable of being used for passage and ease of imports. Unfortunately, however, it appears that the sending of the research vessel, the Kyo Maru No. 5, did quite the opposite effect of what was expected by the government. It appeared rather quickly that the ship had been destroyed and lost in the region of the Devil's Sea almost immediately upon beginning its journey in the region and studying the strange phenomenon of the location. This only led to the solidification of the fears that surrounded the nearly supernatural dangers of the Devil's Sea and what it could mean for any vessel that passed through the region. It would not be for another few decades before the cause of the disappearance of the scientific research vessel known as the Kyo Maru No. 5 and its crew of 100 personnel would be uncovered. Recently discovered methane concentrates. Despite skeptics and their constant arguments that the area was not at the centre of any irrational dangers, researchers would later uncover the truth as to the nature of the area and its nearly impossible to believe natural phenomenon that could sink ships without a second's thought. It appears that, for some unknown reason, the area seems to hold a large amount of pressure of methane gases that became concentrated in a region and act similar to that of timed explosions. There appears to be a large number of fields all across the Devil's Sea of methane hydrates that seem to form for some unexplained reason. These methane hydrate gases can spontaneously explode if the temperature surrounding the area slightly rises to 18 degrees Celsius. It has been theorized that there seems to be a potential for these explosions to cause an interruption in buoyancy in the surrounding areas that could very easily sink a ship overhead, leaving behind no trace of the debris. In this sense, the area seems to act like a naturally forming minefield that seems to replenish itself every now and again, after a large amount of eruptions form and led to the sinking of any vessels caught in the region at the moment of this event. It appears overwhelmingly that despite what the skeptics claimed and the governments had denied in the past, there is obvious reason to believe that the region is more than dangerous given these naturally forming minefields of methane hydrate gases. Strange underwater volcanic pressure. Alongside the evidence of the methane concentrates and underwater pressure, researchers also uncovered additional evidence of a supermassive underwater volcano in the area of the Devil's Sea. These large volcanoes have been discovered in the past to be able to erupt at sporadic times and even cause instances of seismic activity in the oceans nearby that of Japan that could create mini tsunamis and large waves throughout the region, even during a seemingly perfectly weathered day. This has led researchers to believe that the underwater supermassive volcano could also be at the centre of the formation of these methane hydrate gases all throughout the region and other strange anomalies reported throughout the Devil's Sea, such as that of glowing light underwater, sudden waves, and boiling spots. Oddly enough, this underwater volcano and sudden seismic activity has even led to the appearance of new islands in the region, along with the disappearance of old islands in the area that sees the Devil's Sea at the centre of a rapid creation and destruction of islands all throughout its location. In fact, the formation and destruction of the islands appears to be so rapid that many of these islands will never be seen in satellite imaging and will never have been known to exist in the first place before being wiped away from existence. Additionally, evidence of the sinking of the Kyo Maru No. 5 was tied to that of an underwater volcanic eruption in the region of the Devil's Sea, that it was supposedly focused on researching under orders of the Japanese government. Although no exact information could be gathered as to how it was sunken or destroyed, many still feel confident that the volcanic eruptions in the region are more than enough to capsize such a vessel, ultimately proving that the area of the Devil's Sea is a strange and anomalous region that appears to be both incredibly dangerous and nearly impossible to understand. But what do you all think of these 5 strange mysteries about the Devil's Sea and what it could mean for those unfortunate enough to visit the region? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to share your answers and questions about the video. Hopefully, as we continue to grow our community, we will one day be able to solve these unexplainable mysteries. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.